Greetings and welcome back to another episode of the greatest show in the galaxy, the show where I, the Israeli curator, discuss my personal favorite show of all time, personal favorite franchise of all time, aside from my own country, of course, Doctor Who. And, let me just bring on my guest, who is already very much enjoying himself in the green room, the very laid back Mr. Soda. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Looking forward to discussing screwdrivers for doctors who I have seen their stuff. Oh, okay, we're in sync.
Okay, cool. But if I can have just there's a reason I upgraded my name, my title for this episode is it. Of course, it's in light of everything that's been happening in the last couple of days, and especially even more so in the last couple of hours. In light of recent events, I would just like to have a very, very quick moment of silence to honor and pay tribute to all the hundreds and hundreds of people who died in the last couple of days in the state of Israel, as well as the thousands of wounded and the currently the dozens, I should say, the dozens of hostages still being kept against their will in the Gaza Strip. So let me just take a moment, and we can move on with the show after that. Right. So after a moment of silence, let's move on to talking about the opposite of silence, sound, and more specifically, of the sonic variety with the screwdrivers. Are you muted on purpose, by the way? I forgot to
Yeah,
ask.
so I can eat.
Oh, okay. So,
And it would have been very inappropriate if what you were just saying, you just hear me crunching in the background. So,
yeah, perfectly understandable. Now, again, before we start every episode, we got to talk about the birthday section, and this one relatively small compared to other days, other weeks, but it's still a very memorable one to say the least. Of course, we are counting down from the 3rd of October all the way to the 9th, and starting us off, we have on the 4th of October, we have Mr. Daniel Anthony, who of course played the character of Clyde Langer in the Sarah Jane Adventures, all 5 seasons of it. And aside from the pilot, he was in every single episode. So yeah, that's something that a feather in his cap, I should say. He also did several roles on Big Finish, but he's also reprising the role as of uh, Clyde Langer in the newly released Ronnie Chandra takes on the world, or whatever the name of that new spin-off is. Now, also on the 4th, on the same day, we have Mr. Dudley Simpson. His name is mostly familiar as being the main. He basically did the music for about 60 plus serials from the classic series, starting from like literally all the way up in the William Hartnell era, all the way up to the Tom Baker era. And he's also credited as the conductor, or rather, uncredited, I should say, as the conductor in the Tom Baker episode, the Talons of Wang Chiang. And these next two people, sadly, no picture available for both of these guys. But speaking of music, we have on the 5th of October, Mr. Malcolm Lockyer, who composed the music for Doctor Who and the Daleks, the first of the two Peter Cushing movies. On the 8th of October, Mr. Jonathan Marquardt Ellison. He was a production manager and art department production manager on many episodes, particularly on in the modern series from pretty much the start of David Tennant's era all the way up to from New Earth to Journey's End, essentially, as well as on several episodes of both Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures. And on the 9th of October, this is where we hit the big one because we've got several people on the 9th of October, starting with Brian Blessed, who, of course, played King Carnos in the Trial of the Time Lord series, and eventually the person that uh, Harry Brown married. So, yeah, go ahead and put that into perspective. And of course,
Mm.
with the reference I just gave, he was Boss Nass in the
Oh,
franchise.
yeah, I got that right away.
Yeah, and
He-
well, I only knew that because you told me that last year when we
Yep,
celebrated his birthday
yep.
on that occasion.
I remember it blew your mind. Yeah.
Yeah, here's another. Well, the next one after this one might be interesting, but on the 9th we have Miss Fiona Cummings. She was a she was basically a production assistant and assistant floor manager and director of several episodes. She was assistant floor manager on The Massacre of St. Bartholomew's, but a production assistant on The Highlanders, The Seeds of Death, and The Mutants, and director of Castrovalva, Snake Dance, Enlightenment, and Planet of Fire. She was also an uncredited tourist in Silver Nemesis, and of course, she also has married Ian Fraser, who was also a production manager and director and a very highly involved crew member on a lot of other Doctor Who episodes. Now, on the 9th, are you familiar with a little guy named John Lennon by any chance?
Just a smidgen.
Yeah, he was in a band that has appeared in a minor scene in the episode The Chase, which for some reason has been removed from any repeat viewings of that episode. But I'm one of the few who actually still remember seeing that scene in The Chase. Not that I was alive in 1965, but still, I still remember that. BBC, put that scene back in, you schmucks.
So why did they take it out?
Probably because the content they used was copyrighted or something. I
Oh,
mean,
maybe.
I think it was the Beatles performing for the Queen or something.
Oh, yeah, okay, that would make sense.
Yeah,
I've actually seen some of that footage, that actual footage, because I had the Beatles anthology, and they do discuss that when he did that. But anyways, sorry.
right. But again, they should still put it back. Also, on a side note, the Ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, actually played him in a biopic.
Yep.
And the 12th Doctor, Peter
Oh,
Capaldi, appeared alongside someone else who played him in a different biopic.
and in that movie where Eccleston played John Lennon, do you know who played Paul McCartney?
No, sorry.
The guy who played Moriarty in Sherlock.
The Stephen Moffat Sherlock?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that series.
Oh, it's
Also
great.
on also on the 9th, Sharon Osbourne, who had a very minor cameo in The Sound of Drums. But, I mean, of course, she's freaking Sharon Osbourne. So,
She's a legend.
yeah, she's got to be on this list. And finally, it's weird to wrap up the list on this guy, but it's James Dreyfus, who of course played the Master on several episodes of Big Finish until, shall we say, kind of put his foot in his mouth and was fired. Now, I'm not going to get into whether they should have done it, whether it was justified, or he was unfairly vilified.
It
That is not,
happened.
and that is not a discussion for this show.
No,
put
it
it that way.
happened. Deal with it.
Yeah, but he was still the Master, and even though Big Finish removed him from their artwork, I still remember that.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't say he was a very memorable Master. It's just he was the Master, and that's about it. That's all I can say. So the wonderfully obscure list of people we had today. Thank you all. We quite literally could not do this without you. So
That's all.
how about some Sonics?
Yes, sir.
And not of the hedgehog variety, of the screwdriver
Okay.
variety.
Before we continue, I will say this is the one thing I don't like about this toy is there's a button up here to do this light, but then when I extend it, I have to figure out a way to do it down here because that button's the one that works when it's extended. It's so dumb.
That didn't really think of it all the way
No.
through, did they?
Nope.
Also, I don't have my version of that screwdriver because it's kind of in pieces right now, but you kind of have to do this whenever you open it.
Ah.
It adds to the effect. Now, of course, we're not talking about that screwdriver just yet. Obviously, the screwdriver made a comeback pretty much immediately. Like, you see the doctor, first thing, he grabs Rose by the hand, tells her to run. And saves her from the autons. They go to the elevator. He pulls out a guy's arm, like, immediately, right off the bat, after a slightly slow opening. Once the doctor shows up, things get rolling. The ball gets rolling, and it doesn't stop after that. Like, the action never stops, and you get introduced to the sonic screwdriver. Some might even call it a blink and you'll miss it, but they let you know straight off the bat, this doctor has a sonic screwdriver, and this doctor uses the sonic screwdriver.
Well, the way they introduce them is basically there is no fancy schmancy introduction. It's like, you're right in the action. This doctor means business.
Yeah, this doctor hits the ground sprinting. Right.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it.
And so this is the sonic screwdriver design itself. Now,
I got it.
You'd be surprised to know that there are actually two versions of this screwdriver. There's this one and there's this one with the slightly different color for the sort of ceramic area where the hand's supposed to grab the screwdriver itself. But right off the bat, it's very, very much unlike the classic era screwdriver. These screwdrivers are a lot longer than this version of the screwdriver.
Yeah, and they extend.
Yeah, and this was actually a lot closer to the second Doctor's original sonic screwdriver. Just, a little bit of stuff added on top of it. I like the little black handle at the back of it.
So that picture, sorry, 50, that picture is actually the exact one I have in my hand. Because if you look closely, that little black thing at the bottom is a replaceable marker tip. It has invisible ink.
Really?
Yep, that's the exact one I have right here. With the ink. Oh. If you, right there.
Let's put a pin in that, because that's going to come up soon, later.
Oh, okay.
But, so we talked about the scene with the doctor just immediately using the screwdriver. Here it is.
Hey, that's it.
Hold on, mind your eyes.
I've had enough of this now. Who are you then?
I just love it. They're in the middle of an action scene, and this doctor just does not waste any time.
Nope, just pulls out a stick
and that's what you love about it. It's like while she's recovering from the experience, he's just keeping the ball rolling. Like you got to do this, we got to go there, we got to hotwire the elevator or whatever. And I love that they also added the wavy effect coming from the screwdriver. Let's watch this again.
Hold on, mind your eyes.
I've had enough of this now. Who are you then?
You mean the noise?
No, the
the visual effect. I'm not gonna lie, that was the first time I'd ever noticed it.
Really?
Yeah.
How many times have you watched the episode?
Half a dozen times.
And this was the first. Okay.
It's just, I guess because there's just so much going on at the beginning that I just missed it.
Like I said, blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
And again, I believe this might be one of the only few times they actually did that for that screwdriver specifically. That's why you missed it.
Yeah, that might be why I don't remember it.
Yeah, but again, of course, they pretty much invented the iconic sound of the screwdriver doing its business, which of course they then retroactively added to all of the previous screwdrivers in re-releases of previous episodes. I think we talked about this last week, and again, this is now the standard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you hear that, you know that it's the sonic screwdriver, and that's pretty much become the default. Like, the Dalek voices, that's become the default for screwdrivers going forward, and that's another Russell T Davies staple.
Mm-hmm. And it's a welcome one.
Yeah, thank goodness. Now, of course, the same model of screwdriver with a few slight changes from season to season was then later given to David Tennant, who
Mm-hmm.
obviously took over the role after uh, Eccleston departed on not so equal terms. But of course, the Tenth Doctor then continued to use the screwdriver. But what I like about the David Tennant version is he used it very smartly. He didn't just whip it out for everything like some of the other modern doctors do. He used it very smartly and sparingly,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's
And
true, yeah.
and another thing that I really like is, we talked about last week about how at some point they felt like the doctor was relying on the sonic screwdriver for too long, so
Yeah.
they basically killed it,
Yeah.
literally and figuratively, in the Visitation, and the doctor never built another one until like the movie or some of the novels that maybe he had one there. In the modern series, there isn't like the doctor the sonic screwdriver is destroyed and the doctor just doesn't have one. The sonic screwdriver gets destroyed every couple of episodes, and then the doctor just keeps having a new one.
Yeah.
And I like. Let me just play this clip, and then we'll talk about it later.
Just like a servant.
My sonic screwdriver.
She was one of the patients, but
Oh no, my sonic screwdriver.
she had this straw like some sort of
I
vampire.
love my sonic screwdriver.
Doctor?
Sorry. You call me Doctor.
I just love it's like, sorry.
It's like remember we talked about how the Fifth Doctor was like, I feel as if he just killed an old friend, and we see the Tenth Doctor mourning the sonic screwdriver. Was like, I ruined my sonic screwdriver. I love my sonic screwdriver. Doctor, yes, sorry.
Squirrel. Yeah, it's basically a squirrel moment.
I would even go so far as like not in the same context, but Luke Skywalker throwing his lightsaber over his shoulder in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, visually, yes, for sure. Definitely not
Different
context.
context, but I just love the fact that now Martha accepts him and calls him by his name, the Doctor.
Yeah.
That's more important than the sonic screwdriver is gone.
I cannot wait till I hit that season.
Again, that is.
Yeah, again, like, don't get me wrong, I do like Rose, but compared to the following two seasons, there's more mediocre episodes in my opinion. Whereas the Donna and Martha seasons, there's in my, maybe it might feel differently this time, but there's nary a bad one in the bunch.
They're Doctor Who gold. In my
Yeah.
opinion. Doctor Who at its finest.
Yep.
And of course, I played this scene just to remind everyone to so the sonic screwdriver does get destroyed every once in a while, but it's unlike in the classic series where it's like it's done. There's no Sonic anymore. Get over it. It's like it's meant to put the Doctor in certain situations, where he has to get by without the sonic screwdriver, and it comes into play later in the episode where he needs the sonic screwdriver to save the day, and he doesn't have it, so he relies on his own wit and intelligence to stop the Plasmavores plan and save the hospital. And I even like it when what?
I was saying, there's anybody you'd want to get to do that and use only their wit. It's that man.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
But again, in the after this scene, they're being chased by I think the Jadoon or whatever, and they reach they reach a room, and there's if you notice, there's again when you reach that in your rewatch, you'll notice that they go through a door. The Doctor closes it, and then there's a close up of him locking it manually with the lock. It's like he doesn't have a Sonic anymore, so he has to do it by hand. So I like the emphasis on this is him getting by without a screwdriver. He's not out of the game just yet, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. I never noticed that. I guess that's just something that I guess was so subtle that I just never picked up on it in that episode.
It's the subtlety that works.
Yeah.
And this is just one example of a Doctor having to get by without a sonic screwdriver. Later in the same season, there's in the Dalek two-parter where the Doctor has to take apart some stuff that the Daleks had people attached to the very mast of the Empire State Building, and he uses a sonic screwdriver to remove at least one of them, and then but because it's raining and thunder and lightning and stormy and whatnot, he accidentally drops the sonic screwdriver, and again he's stuck without a screwdriver, and he has to stop the Daleks in a different way. He has to find an alternative to just relying on his screwdriver this whole time.
Yeah, that particular scene. Yeah, it's definitely not the time or the place you want to be in when you lose your Sonic.
Yeah, but again, I like the fact that he found a way to deal with this.
Because he's the Doctor.
It's one of those scenes that proves that, oh yeah, sure, the Doctor overuses the sonic screwdriver at times, but when push comes to shove and he doesn't have the sonic screwdriver with him, he still can find ways to save the day without the sonic screwdriver. Case in point, I don't think he used it as much. No, sorry, my bad, but he was very adamant that he did not want to use it in the End of Time Part 2 to save Wilf. It's like he pulls it out of his pocket and it's like, even this could set it off. And then just saves Wilf by hand.
Sorry, brief side thing, and I don't want to get in discussion about it, but did you see the Who Culture video about their theory?
The one I sent you?
It might have been?
No, I'm sorry. What was the theory?
That basically that Doctor has to relive that moment.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
Go check out the video.
All right, cool.
It gets dark, but it's like, oh, I would actually like to see that.
I mean, if the Celestial Toy Maker is involved,
And that's part of their theory. Just like I said, go watch the video.
all right, and I'm assuming that's him being like, why does it have to be this?
Yes, that scene.
All right, I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah, because there's another moment in the trailer where he dives under a glass door that's going down, and it's the exact same set. You can tell it's the same set. Might be a different room, maybe, but it's the same setting. And, yeah, anyways.
Cool, I like that. You know, there's a run in the comics at one point, storyline in the comics that, like, sort of alternate reality or alternate timeline where the 10th Doctor decides not to save Wilf, and he was kind of being an asshole about it, and he's like, I'm not going to save you. I'm the Doctor. I'm too important to die for you. You're a nobody. I'm paraphrasing, of course. I don't remember exactly what he said.
That's horrible.
Yeah, but horrible.
You don't say that to Wilf.
And definitely you do not write the Doctor this way as a writer.
Screw that. You don't treat Wilf like that.
Yeah. But yeah, because he let him die, he became a tyrant, and he went evil, went to the dark side or whatever. It's a whole thing, but it all stems from him refusing to save Wilf.
Yep.
So, again, I'm paraphrasing. He probably didn't say it as in the same way that I just did. I just kind of accentuated it a little bit. But back to the sonic screwdriver for a bit. As you alluded to earlier, it extends. Like unlike the classic ones where it just goes down.
It's a stick.
I mean, it's not really a stick. It's just like there's a section that goes down and up when used.
Oh.
But if you would like to demonstrate with your
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's ever really explained what is the purpose of extending it like that. Like openly explained.
Not that I can recall, but there is a humorous bit in the 50th when they're comparing screwdrivers.
Save it. We're getting there.
Okay, sorry.
But I think visually, it just lets you know. It's like stepping into high gear, like shifting gears.
Yeah.
It's like, hold on, let me just.
You have to take it to the next level.
Yeah. For the gamers in the audience, like this is where you go from this to this.
Yeah, that is actually a really good metaphor.
And we can see it right here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so in that scene alone, you can see the screwdriver can actually interact with the TARDIS from the outside.
Yeah. Well, where the heck is it? Aren't they like connected in some way?
The screwdriver and the TARDIS?
Yeah, I thought I heard that recently. Maybe I was just stoned.
It is very possible, sir.
Okay.
But the Doctor and the TARDIS are connected. Like, that's
Well, yeah, that obviously, but I thought I
that's a
read some of the
fundamental thing.
screwdriver.
Like, every Time Lord forms a connection with their TARDIS.
Yeah.
It's not just the Doctor. But the screwdriver, I'm not so sure. But I think from that scene, I'll play the clip again.
From the episode Utopia.
Yep. It kind of is very reminiscent of the way the classic Doctors used to hold the screwdriver.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Every time they do that, like, I don't think I've ever seen them hold it like this when they do it. It's most of the time, it's been like this.
Yeah, because again, look at the shape. I mean, we got the picture in the background.
Yeah.
We can clearly tell that this is, it's like a circle, it's like a dish.
Yeah.
That's why they do it like this. It's
Yeah.
only in the modern series where they sort of change it into being kind of like this. Maybe in a reference to the second Doctor's thing we talked about it last week, where he was holding it like a gun.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird to see.
But again, it's closer to how the modern series does it. What's
That's
this?
it.
Hold on, mind your eyes.
I've had enough of this now. Oh, you then.
No. It's not the action. It's how he was holding it. That's what was weird to see. Like, who the hell holds an object like that? Besides the Doctor.
I've certainly held pencils in this position.
Well, yeah, to write, but I don't know. It just felt weird. Like, yeah, it just feels weird to me.
All right. I think we might actually see someone else holding it in that position in the next clip.
Really?
This next clip I want to show is from Partners in Crime.
Okay, so Donna.
Watch this. So you see the Foster.
Yeah, but she looked like she was holding it normally.
Did it?
Yeah, show that again.
Hold on. Stupid mouse.
Yeah, she's also holding it like this, but it's more
Because,
elegant.
Yeah, because as we learn later in the episode, it's a pen.
Yeah,
It's a sonic pen. So it's natural that she'd be holding it like this.
Yeah.
But the main reason I wanted to bring up that clip is because it's such a small blink, quite literally blink and you'll miss a detail. But I just love that the Doctor is closing one eye, almost like he's aiming. What? Let's watch it again.
Shit, that's another detail I never noticed.
Yeah, again, it's another one I noticed right away because I notice these things. I like to notice these things.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, so there's clearly some precision needed to do whatever the action was. Because again, it was from very far away and he was aiming at a very small target. Her
And while
hand
dangling
holding-
from a rope.
Yeah. And, you know, it kind of reminds me in Civil War where Iron Man's targeting system is down. So it's like, screw it, I'm eyeballing it. He lowers the helmet and he's like, choom, with one eye closed.
Yeah. Alright, what's the next one?
Dude, we just talked about half an hour on just this one screwdriver.
Yeah.
Now, isn't it fitting that the screwdriver eventually had reached its end?
Yeah. So, why did that? I don't remember. Why did it break?
Overload. Like he was using it to overload a lot of different equipments in the area, and it just couldn't handle it. Because remember,
Gotcha. Okay.
it was kind of damaged already because of
Yeah.
things that happened early in the episode.
Old software, as some might say.
Hint, hint, hint. But this is again another really good example of the Doctor being in a situation where he has to work things out without a sonic screwdriver. And I think in that episode it works to great effect. Almost lets you believe that this is going to become a regular thing, like it was with the 10th Doctor, but it kind of doesn't. Because
Yeah, it's the same screwdriver, at least throughout all of the Pawn story.
yeah,
Doesn't it change?
Yeah, except for that one episode where he gets bitten by a shark. But
Right. But it changes when he gets to Clara, right?
no, it's not got the same.
Okay. No, it's this is
It's
outfit
not-
that changes. Never mind.
I'll tell you something else. That screwdriver makes its way all the way to Capaldi.
Okay, then.
Not just like he has it in his first full season with Clara, and then he loses it in the opening episode of his second season, where he gives it to Davros.
And then that's when he gets the something we might be talking about later.
Might be, but yeah. So later in that episode, we get this scene. Hold on, the mouse is. We get this scene.
Oh, a new one. Lovely.
And that is, of course, how we get this screwdriver that you're holding in your hand. And really in the later episode where you see the feature of it opening up. And again, it's another detail that I love of like scanning something and then click. I'm not really sure.
I will admit to having done that in real life with my a few times. Somebody said something like, "I would if I had my screwdriver, I would do that." Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Again, what is he looking at? How does he read? Like,
this is a man who speaks baby. I don't know.
the correct answer is it's Doctor Who.
It's the Doctor. Yeah. No, I love that screwdriver so much. I have it tattooed on my body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, do you think the change from blue to green on the screwdriver light, does that seem a little evocative of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber for the first time?
I was literally thinking
Another
about
thing
that.
tattooed on your body?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right there. No, I was actually thinking that watching that scene, I was going to ask you which do you prefer, green or blue. I personally don't care.
I mean, either.
But it did harken back to that. It's like which Luke Skywalker's lightsaber do you like, the green or the blue? It's like it's a lightsaber. Who cares?
I might prefer the blue because I might prefer the design of the blade and
yeah,
the story that comes with it. But talking about the screwdriver for a bit, much as
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know how this one would look with blue. I don't think it would work.
Probably, but I mean, we never seen it with blue, so
no.
I don't know. But yeah, if we're looking at just the design for a little bit, I think I prefer the design. It's weird I couldn't find a picture. I forgot to use a picture with the thing closed so you can see the screwdriver properly, stationary. But I do think I prefer the design because of all the years I've had with this one, and of course the fact that I own one of this design specifically. One that actually served. I actually served within an actual war. So it functions as a real screwdriver properly. So I have shared history with that one. So, but yeah, as much as I have personal attachment to this design. To me, this is the OG. Like this is the one that cannot be beat.
I love them both for different reasons.
Yeah, me too. As I just explained.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and talk about your reasons for liking?
Basically, it just comes down to this is just my first Doctor. Like nowadays I'm more ready to admit that I do love Tennant stuff more, but I mean it's just like this sonic screwdriver symbolizes everything that in a way that I love about Doctor Who and what got me hooked on it. So that's why I chose it for the tattoo and stuff like that, because like you said, there's a meaning there.
And another thing that I forgot to get a picture for, this is the only screwdriver design that's in an actual physical Lego piece.
Oh,
Yeah, it was released in Lego Ideas set for Doctor Who, and then it was also given to the 12th Doctor in the Lego Dimensions sets.
yeah. Sorry, my mom just sent me a text.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
But again, we're just here comparing the two screwdrivers
Yeah.
of the blue one and the green one, like these guys also do.
Compensating? For what? Regeneration, it's a lottery.
Oh, he's cool. Isn't he cool? I'm the Doctor and I'm all cool. Oops, I'm wearing sand shoes.
Oi! They're not sand shoes! I love that movie. That movie, special, whatever that
I
was
like to
called.
I like to be immediately incarcerated. I like to be immediately taken and incarcerated in the Tower of London with my two co-conspirators, Sand Shoes and Granddad.
Oi!
Granddad? You're not Sand Shoes. Like, he just pissed off both of them at the same time.
Yeah,
One sentence.
that's fun. Yeah, God, I love that. Ugh.
But, I mean, do I even need to explain the obvious innuendo in this scene?
It's a dick measuring contest.
Yeah. And again, the little details. Look at Matt Smith's face. Like, first, for two instances, the first is like, mine
Yeah.
does this. And then when the 10th Doctor, when David Tennant's like, extends his, like,
Mine does this. Ooh.
yeah, but then after Tennant does this, look at Matt Smith's face. He's like, oh. I'm gonna play again. Just
Yes, please.
That part.
Compensating? For what?
Compensating for what?
Yeah. I mean, he just looks at it as like, really, that's all you got?
Which is, in a way, yeah. Anywho.
Yeah, but the thing about it being a dick measuring contest kind of gets even weirder when you consider that they're literally the same person
Right?
at different points in their
Yeah.
timeline.
And you'd think Matt Smith would remember that screwdriver.
I think he's just like, yeah, he's just like going, really? I used to walk around with something this pathetic, like that small. But that's just me.
Yeah.
But speaking of remembering something from your own past, let's see if you can remember something from your own future.
Why are you pointing your screwdrivers like that? They're scientific instruments, not water pistols. Not like
Scientific instruments, not water
Not
pistols.
water pistols. Again, I love it's the little details that count. I love David Tennant going like, "All right, fine," and just almost like putting it back into place. And it doesn't stop there because it happens again a few seconds later in the same scene.
oh, the pointing again. They're screwdrivers. What are you going to do? Assemble a cabinet at them?
That thing.
I love that line. They're screwdrivers. What are you going to do? Assemble a cabinet at them?
Right.
The Ward Doctor very much has a old man yelling at cloud energy.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, because it's Doctor Who, he's actually younger than the two of them.
I know, right? The youngest one is the oldest, and the oldest one is the...
Yeah, wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Yeah. Yeah. So, these two are my in-laws, and... okay, enough. And I thought my family tree was weird.
I saw something people saying about two anime characters with a description one doesn't match the other, and it's like, I'm like, okay, let's try with a different franchise. And I put the picture from The Impossible Astronaut, where you see Amy, Rory, River, and the Doctor. It's like this. In this picture, you can see a mom, a mother, a father, their daughter, and her husband. Guess which is which? I dare you.
I know. I think I've seen that meme.
Yeah. But I think those two scenes, and I'm gonna play them both again just for funsies.
Why are you pointing your screwdrivers like that? They're scientific instruments, not water pistols. Look like... Oh, the pointing again. They're screwdrivers. What are you going to do? Assemble a cabinet at them?
That thing.
It just shows you that the War Doctor treats the son of screwdriver differently.
Seriously. He's treated seriously.
Like a tool. Like something to help him when he needs to. He doesn't overuse it like some of the modern doctors do, especially the Matt Smith Doctor.
That's true. Matt Smith, it was very much a crutch.
Yeah, too much of a crutch, I would say. But then again, later in Day of the Doctor, we also get... I love this scene. Watch this.
Yeah, one of the few times you actually see something coming out of the end of the Sonic.
Yeah, like when it's necessary. Like, hold on, like we talked about with its first scene right here.
That's it.
Hold on, mind your eyes.
I've had enough of this now. What are you then?
Yeah, I think that little piece of CGI adds a lot, especially to this scene. And if we play this scene again, hold on.
Pointing.
You'll notice that both David Tennant and Matt Smith are kind of like...
Yeah, they're more swashbuckling.
Yeah, because they're literally using it as a weapon.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at John Hurt's Doctor... he's just very stationary. He's using it like a proper screwdriver, where... You see in that scene again, it's Matt Smith who just goes overboard, spinning around like, on guard.
Yeah.
With a screwdriver.
Said the same man, 3 different ways of doing shit.
Yep. 3 different approaches to life. And we also get another scene of all 3 of them using their sonic screwdrivers at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
At that point, he pretty much embraced it like that.
Yeah, because of the scene that they had earlier in the prison cell. With the whole saying software, different casing.
Yep. Yeah, great scene.
And
then, of course, Lee's just scene that I know you just hate. Clark simply opens the door.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. But you see I think in that scene you can kind of see that his screwdriver is literally like the in-between this and the modern screwdrivers. The modern screwdrivers held like this as a weapon. You'll see that his screwdriver can still be used like that, but he's still holding it like this.
Yeah, and it's got a head that more closely resembles the older ones with it looks like a bullet going through it.
Yep. Let's see.
What should I say?
Yeah.
See, they're holding it like this, like the modern series. And he's holding it like this.
Yeah, I never picked up on that.
And something else you probably never picked up on. Did you notice that when they both jump on the table, it's David Tennant who says, whoops, and Matt Smith who says, a daisy?
No! Play that again.
What should I say?
No, I never picked up on that before.
Yeah. I'm giving you so many new things to live vicariously through.
Wow. I feel like a noob.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah,
but isn't that like the fun of Doctor Who? That no matter how many times you watch these things, you still find new things about it. I'm not gonna lie, even me, I found some of the stuff that I'm pointing out to you. I found those things out earlier today when I was making these clips.
Oh shit.
Okay, so now we're on to Peter Capaldi, who, of course,
Ah, yes.
had his, shall we say, midlife crisis stage where he didn't want to use a screwdriver, he used the sonic shades. But then, of course, we get him with this new sonic screwdriver design. And
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I like how he's holding it too. It's like he's holding it on the very tip, so you can see all the different intricate details of the screwdriver. I think it's a little over designed.
Yeah,
Not putting it lightly,
I'm
mildly.
not a fan.
I mean, I don't dislike it. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
it's-
I'm
compared to what we just got.
yeah, and I'm just happy that he has a screwdriver again.
Yeah. Although
Like-
I'm not gonna lie, I like the concept of the shades just because of where he's at this point in his life.
But I think probably the reason I like it so much is because of this.
I have seen that, and that is badass.
Yeah, it's like it's a doctor moment of like
Yeah.
it's a scene of like he's got a screwdriver now.
Yeah.
So sadly, in my opinion, didn't get to use it as much to justify this scene, which goes into another point that I've been wanting to make for a while. That I think Capaldi had another season in him, especially if he had another season with Bill. But that is a discussion that I've been having for years alone, and will continue to have, I suppose, for many, many years. But again, going back into the screwdriver design itself, I, I, I think it's fine. Like it's a little over designed, but it looks right. It looks like it would be a Doctor Who screwdriver.
Yeah.
And if we're going back into the dick measuring context again, it's a little too long. I'd
Do you know
say
what it reminds me of?
a peanut.
It reminds me of the part of the center console that attaches to the roof of the TARDIS.
Which section of it? Because there's the screwdriver is got like 4 sections.
No, just the whole thing. The way
whole
it's
thing?
designed. I'm getting this. I don't know why, but I'm getting vibes of the top part of the center console of the TARDIS. I don't know, but that's just me.
But yeah, again, I think for a screwdriver, it's too long. It's definitely the longest screwdriver we've had thus far. Like we've came a really long way from the pin torch of the second Doctor to this.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I think you just cut out the middle section and just combined the other two together, and maybe shorten out the end of it, the part that actually lights up. I think it would have been a much better looking screwdriver.
Yeah.
But
I'm not opposed to the color scheme. I like that.
yeah, the color scheme not only looks good with the contrasting colors, but also it fits this Doctor.
Yeah.
And if you go back into this scene again, I actually do like the way the lights work. Like we've gone from like one light that shines only when the screwdriver is in use to like lights that flicker on and off while it's being used. I like that. I like that. But again, the screwdriver needed more screen time, but that could also be said for Capaldi
Yeah.
himself.
It's like the Godfather 3. It had to follow 2 really good screwdrivers.
Yeah, very much so. And of course, we one final thing I want to bring up about the screwdriver. Hold on.
That's why you told me to put a pin in it.
Yeah, it's got a pen.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and because you still need to watch Capaldi's last.
And
episode.
I don't get me wrong. I am planning on it. I am planning on catching up this time. I have a month. I could do it.
Yay!
Because
I-
if the rumors of when the first special are dropping are true, then yeah, I've got just about a month.
Yeah, I still have all the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th Doctors to rewatch, and then I can start watching the modern series just to catch up.
Yeah,
So,
but you're gonna
give
watch
that
the
time.
special in real time, though, right?
of course,
Yeah.
like it's not my fault that I suddenly became unexpectedly busy over the last couple of days, but that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there. But I
I
just
will
thought
say
that-
this: if it is possible, we have to watch that together.
I don't know which time it's gonna drop, which hour.
Yeah.
Remember,
make it work.
remember, we are dealing with 3 different time zones here.
Yeah, but we'll make it work.
Hopefully. But going back to this screwdriver, hold on. I just love it. He pulls it apart, and it's like unerasable marker.
Yeah.
I love it.
The one in this one is an invisible ink, so the light will actually expose what is written.
The one you have?
The one I have, yeah, from the 10th. Yeah.
Cool.
And there was also a separate attachment, but that one I lost, where it was actually an ink tip. It was actually an ink pen.
So you don't have to do this.
Yeah, I did try to use it. Felt very weird because I had to try to hold it, keep it in at the same time. Too awkward.
Yeah, but you missed out on the joke. Like, you don't have to do this.
That is true. That is true.
Now, the 12th Doctor just lost his screwdriver after after regenerated, and so for the first time ever, we did not have a Doctor where the sonic screwdriver just came from the TARDIS itself. We had the 13th Doctor, who was kind of put in a situation where she needed a screwdriver where she didn't have one, so she just built her own screwdriver, which looked like this. What do you think of the screwdriver design here?
It looks very alien.
Yeah. On purpose, because of the type of technology she used.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
isn't
think-
this... Oh, no, sorry. I was thinking of a different character in a different episode. Never mind.
But what were you going to say?
I was going to say, didn't it come from the guy in the Rose episode? But then, no. I totally had it melded 2 episodes in my head there.
Oh, no. It's from the Stenza. She stole it from the Stenza travel pod or whatever, and sort of combined Earth technology with Stenza technology, and just there's a moment where she takes a bunch of spoons, melts them together to use the casing. Hence
That's
the metal
right.
casing. So yeah, again, it's the most unique out of all screwdrivers. It's the most different looking, but it makes sense because of the situation she was put in. And remember, the 13th Doctor did not have an easy road from the get-go. She was without a screwdriver. She made her own one. She was without the TARDIS. She spent an entire episode searching for the TARDIS until she found it.
I remember that episode, yep.
It's all just part of the trials and tribulations of the 13th Doctor. And here we have the scene where she finalizes the design of the screwdriver. Or rather, when she looks at the creation she made for the first time.
Ta-da! Ooh. She'll be fine.
Yay!
I gotta say, I had a toy version of that screwdriver. I lost it, sadly. But I do think if we go back into the picture again, I think the sort of twist and the handle there, it might not look like it works, but it really does. It's sort of it's sort of meant to be very easily grabbable because of this part of your palm.
Yeah,
Which
I like. That's where the spoon comes in.
Yeah, it's like it's the first time a screwdriver is actually physically designed to fit in your hand. It's the first time they actually acknowledge the fact that these screwdrivers, the modern screwdrivers, are held like this, like a weapon of some sort. And of course, we have another screwdriver we need to talk about, but it's kind of hard to do that because we haven't actually seen it in action as much just yet.
Yeah, they've only just released images, yeah.
And it's the 14th Doctor's one. Of course, you can't see it much in this image, but this is more or less what it's going to look like.
Yeah!
Stationary.
I like this!
Yeah, and this is the screwdriver in action with a split.
I might actually get this because it is the best of both worlds.
more than both. It's the best of all worlds. It's like a
Well, yeah,
mishmash
yeah.
of all the screwdrivers.
But I mean, for me, who's more used to the two, it's like the best of both worlds. But yeah, you can definitely see where parts were taken from everything. Like you can see the finish of the handles from 10s, the extension with the clamps around it, that's 11.
Right.
Like,
And like the bottom half is from this one
yeah,
with the three circular things.
yeah, but done to more resemble 10, like in the vein of 10, 11 for sure.
So yeah, they basically just took all three previous screwdrivers minus the 13th
Yeah.
one, of course, and melded them all together.
And it looks like they kept this feature.
No, it's the other thing. Look, it's the where it splits.
Yeah, no, but look at the button.
Maybe the button is just the one that splits the.
Maybe, but that is what on the 10 if you break it down.
Hold on, mouse.
That is what causes it to do that. So
It's the same function.
yeah,
but it doesn't
but
do
just
the
for the
same
clamps. Okay.
thing for the clamps. Now, of course, this screwdriver is kind of a mishmash of three previous screwdrivers, much like this doctor himself,
Yeah.
costume and all, is kind of a mishmash of several previous doctors. But that is a story for another time, which we can't really talk about at all because
We haven't seen the
we
next
haven't
chapter.
seen the episode yet. But yeah, so that's it for screwdrivers for now. Mr. Soda, when you're not playing with your screwdrivers, where can the good people of the Interwebs find you?
That didn't sound dirty. You can find me over my
I was in
personal.
person.
You can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me here in the Northern Entertainment Group. You up to my normal shenanigans here with 50 and over on Sodagan Wrestling.
And you can find me still surviving and keeping myself safe on my own YouTube channel, Fictitious Geek, where I do weekly reviews of every single Doctor Who episode from 1963 all the way to 2022. I was hoping to finish it all up just in time for the 60th, but alas, life got in the way. So
Yep.
I'm still on the second Doctor era at the moment, but I'm also doing stuff on this channel, like this show, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, and Final Flags, where I do with my good friend Soda. And you can also check out if you're tired of watching us two idiots talk, you can also check out all these wonderful people out here on the wider Benverse at large, like Something to Talk About, Taco's channel, who just crossed the 600 subscriber goal. Go ahead and give him some love and appreciation there. He's almost a YouTube partner at the moment. And speaking of YouTube partners, we also have Galaxy Geeks, Multiverse of Geekdom, Movie Lovers Unite, the Midnight Cinema, 8 Reviews, Northern, and of course this channel, my channel, So Diggin' Wrestling, we have, as we mentioned, and of course in the front row, which is still not pictured on this thumbnail for reasons we will never understand. But yeah, always remember to keep your screwdrivers nice and handy. Don't use them as water pistols, and don't assemble cabinets at people because the cabinets hurts. And if you're living in my area, please stay safe. Look after yourselves. We will get through this eventually, but we just need patience and courage at this point. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you have, and in the words of Misty herself,
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
goodbye, everybody.